Okay, it's flipped. You can see here 3 is a triangle, 4 quadrilateral, and we're going to focus on those today. Hey, by the way, 5, 5 pentagram. Pentagon. Pentagram is when you try to get a witch to come. Penta is 5. All right? 6, hexagon. Gon is sides. All right? Hex. You can remember that because 6 has an X, and so does hex. 7, you're never going to see a 7-sided one. Oh, hexagon. Hexagon. That's big in work, automotive work, right? All the bolts and stuff are hexagons. They're hex bolts. That's what they call them. Septagon is 7. Heptagon. They call it a heptagon as well. 8, octagon. Octagon. Now you might know octagon from Ultimate Fighting. I was an Ultimate Fighting champion. I won the world champion in women age 60 and over. Yeah, I beat Mrs. Broombach in a battle. 9 is a... Oh, excuse me, I choked. 9 is a nonagon. You don't see that here. 10 is a decagon, right? Decade, like decade, right? Deca is 10. When you do metric prefixes are important, okay? Woo! But we're talking about quadrilateral, all right? Quadrilateral has 360. I didn't put these symbols here. That little 0 means degrees. 360 degrees. If you measured all the angles in a quadrilateral, it always equals 360. Okay? All right. Oh, look at that. We're going to start with parallelograms. And a parallelogram is a quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel and congruent. So parallel means they don't intersect. That's the opposite sides. Congruent means same sides. Now, I'm going to draw like the typical parallelogram. All right? That's a parallelogram. Now, a rectangle would be a parallelogram. That means the opposite sides are parallel and congruent, but all right angles. Okay? So, a rectangle is a quadrilateral, and it's also a parallelogram. Okay? It's a polygon as well. See, that means they're all right angles. So a square is a rectangle. That means that it's a parallelogram also. It also means it has right angles, and it also means it has 4 sides, but all the sides are congruent. It also makes it a regular polygon. There we go. Very nice. Thank you. All right, a rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides congruent. Now, what's different? A square can be a rhombus, all right? But it doesn't have to have what? All right angles. So, and most people say it's a diamond. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you something here. I'm going to show you now. When you do this, you can symbolize that things are congruent by drawing this is congruent to this because it has one line. This is congruent to that because it has 2 lines. We'll do 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, and here it would all be 1s. All right? And what do these symbols tell you? Oh, it tells you I'm not careful. That these are all congruent, right? And these are all right angles. All right? Because sometimes, like, if you're worried about how you printed it and stuff like that, how you wrote it, you can tell someone, look, this is what I was trying to do. Now here, these are all, but I didn't add the things in the corners. These are all congruent. I didn't finish my sentence. All right? I think there's one more. Oh, and then we go to circles. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral, 4 sides, with exactly 2 sides parallel. Can't have 4, right? 2 sides are parallel, not 2 pairs of sides, 2 sides. And you can draw these 2 different ways. Okay? All right, now look. This side is not parallel to this, but this one is to this. That pair is. And then there's this one. Where, see now here, this is equal to that. This is 2, and this would be 3, because they're not congruent. Okay? All right? Now here, this can be congruent to that, but that is not, and that is not. Okay? Trapezoid. All right? All right, now, whoops, too many. Whoa, triangles, get out of here. All right? All squares are parallelograms. All squares are rectangles. All squares are quadrilaterals. But not all rectangles are squares. All right? This is a parallelogram. All right? A rectangle is a parallelogram. But not all parallelograms are rectangles. It's crazy, right? All right. By the way, rhombuses can be squares. They can be. You can say that's a rhombus as well. Now, what is the most specific thing that is? That is a square. All right? That is not a square. It's a parallelogram. But more specifically, it's a rhombus. Okay? Thank you. I'll post this in a second.